What if I told you that a single rusted nail could double the growth of your plants? Not a fertilizer, not a chemical, but a piece of forgotten metal, corroding slowly in the soil. For centuries, gardeners buried iron scraps in their beds without ever understanding the science. They just knew it worked. Modern agriculture arrived. It replaced observation with formulas. It erased the slow wisdom of working soil, and the rusted nail disappeared from our gardens, not because it failed, but because it could not be sold. Today, as soils collapse and deficiencies multiply, science is finally measuring what grandmothers already knew. This is the crop that proves it. Section 1. The leaf that fed daily life. For most of history, spinach was not a health trend. It was survival. It filled pots in spring when winter stores ran thin. It returned again in autumn when summer crops had faded. In cottage gardens and monastery plots across 3 continents, spinach earned its place not through prestige, but through persistence. It germinated quickly, matured in weeks, and could be cut multiple times before bolting. Families did not grow spinach because it was exotic. They grew it because it was ready when nothing else was. The plant asked for little: cool mornings, decent soil, a hand to harvest before the heat arrived. In return, it offered iron, folate, and green bulk when protein was scarce, and variety was a luxury few could afford. Spinach was not celebrated. It was assumed. The way bread was assumed. The way water was assumed. It belonged to the ordinary rhythm of feeding a household through uncertain seasons. And in that ordinary rhythm, gardeners learned something about the plant that modern science would later forget. Spinach did not just grow in soil. It listened to it. What it heard determined everything that followed. And when the soil spoke of iron, the plant responded immediately with life. Section 2. An ancient crop of working gardens. Spinach originated in ancient Persia over 1,000 years ago. Arab traders carried it westward along spice routes. By the 12th century, it had reached Spain. By the 16th century, it was cultivated across Europe. Catherine de' Medici loved it so much that dishes served on a bed of spinach still carry her name to this day. But spinach was never truly a crop of the wealthy. It belonged to the margins, to the kitchen gardens tucked behind stone walls, to the small plots where families grew what they actually ate. It tolerated frost. It matured in 40 to 50 days. And unlike grains, it could be harvested leaf by leaf without destroying the plant. This made it essential during the hunger gaps, those dangerous weeks between stored food running out and new harvests arriving. Spinach filled bellies when survival hung on timing. Across Persia, North Africa, and medieval Europe, it became a quiet constant in the human diet. Not dramatic, not rare, just present, always ready, and always growing best in the beds that had been worked for generations. Beds where something invisible had accumulated slowly in the soil, something spinach needed desperately, something that would define its fate for centuries to come. Spinach is not like other leafy greens. Its entire physiology is organized around minerals and mineral uptake. While most crops can tolerate moderate deficiencies, spinach broadcasts them. A slight shortage of iron turns its leaves pale yellow between the veins. A lack of magnesium dulls its color within days. Spinach does not slowly fade. It signals immediately. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is architecture. Spinach contains more iron per 100 grams than most vegetables, up to 2.7 milligrams in raw leaves. It accumulates calcium, potassium, and zinc at levels that dwarf lettuce or cabbage. But to build those concentrations, it must extract minerals constantly. Its roots are aggressive. Its demand is immediate. When the supply fails, growth does not just slow, it halts. Chlorophyll production collapses. Enzyme systems misfire. The plant enters a kind of suspended frustration, alive but unable to progress. This is why spinach became the canary in traditional gardens. When spinach thrived, the soil was balanced. When spinach stalled, something essential had run out. And more often than not, that something was iron, the element that unlocks everything else. Iron is not optional for spinach. It is foundational. The element sits at the center of chlorophyll synthesis, the process that turns light into life. Without adequate iron, chlorophyll molecules cannot form properly. Photosynthesis slows even under full sun. Leaves lose their deep green. Growth becomes thin, pale, stunted. But here is the problem. Iron is abundant in most soils. It is the fourth most common element in the Earth's crust, yet plants struggle to absorb it. The issue is not quantity. It is availability. Iron binds tightly to soil particles, especially in alkaline or calcium-rich conditions. It oxidizes. It locks up. Even when surrounded by iron, roots cannot always reach it. This is the invisible limiter that no one talks about. Spinach may sit in soil containing thousands of parts per million of iron and still starve for it. The chemistry is ruthless. What is present is not always accessible, and what is inaccessible might as well not exist at all. Traditional gardeners did not understand oxidation states or chelation, but they understood results, and they found ways to release what the soil was holding captive. Before the industrial age, soil was not fed. It was built. Gardeners added ash from cooking fires, calcium and potassium released with every burn. They buried bones, phosphorus that was slow released over years. They composted everything, creating microbial ecosystems that unlocked nutrients no formula could replicate. They also added iron physically. Old nails, broken tools, scrap metal too worn for any other purpose. These objects rusted slowly underground, releasing iron in forms plant roots could absorb. A single nail buried beside a seedling might take a full season to break down completely. That gradual release matched the plant's demand perfectly. No surge, no burnout, just steady availability, season after season. This was not primitive. It was precise. Monastery records from medieval Europe describe beds amended with forge scraps and blacksmith waste. Persian manuscripts reference iron filings added to melon and spinach plots. The practice existed across cultures, not because of shared theory, but because of shared observation. The rusted nail worked, not dramatically, not overnight, but consistently. Growth deepened, color darkened, yields increased, and no one needed to buy anything. The fix came from what was already discarded. Section 6. When soil became a formula. The 20th century transformed agriculture into chemistry. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium became the holy trinity of plant nutrition. These three macronutrients, labeled NPK, drove the fertilizer industry. They were easy to manufacture, easy to measure, and visibly effective. Apply nitrogen and watch leaves explode with green. Add phosphorus and roots expand. Potassium strengthened stems. The results were undeniable. Yields soared, but something was lost in the simplification. Micronutrients, the trace elements that govern enzyme function, chlorophyll synthesis, and disease resistance, were treated as secondary concerns. Iron, zinc, manganese, boron. They were acknowledged in textbooks, but ignored in practice. Industrial agriculture assumed that soils already contained enough, or that deficiencies could be patched with foliar sprays after symptoms appeared. The slow mineral economy of traditional beds, built over generations, was replaced by fast inputs and faster harvests. Gardens became dependent on products. Soils became substrates. And the rusted nail, with its patient chemistry and unpatentable simplicity, vanished from common knowledge. Not disproven, just forgotten. Erased by convenience. Section 7. What spinach lost. Spinach did not stop growing under industrial systems. But it changed. Commercial production moved to massive fields irrigated with alkaline water, exactly the conditions that lock up iron. Deficiencies became routine. Chlorosis, the yellowing caused by iron starvation, appeared so often that it was treated as a management problem, not a systemic failure. Growers responded with chelated iron sprays, synthetic molecules designed to deliver iron directly to leaves. The sprays worked temporarily, but they treated symptoms, not causes. Soil biology continued to degrade. Each season demanded more intervention. Meanwhile, home gardeners inherited the same assumptions: feed the plant, ignore the soil, buy the solution. When spinach yellowed, they reached for bottles instead of asking what was missing underneath. The old feedback loop, where a failing crop revealed a failing bed, was broken. Gardeners no longer read their soil through their plants. They read product labels instead. And spinach, the ancient indicator, was silenced. It still signaled. But no one was watching anymore. No one was listening. Section 8. Why the simple fix vanished. A rusted nail cannot be patented. It cannot be packaged in measured doses. It cannot be advertised with guaranteed results. It works slowly, invisibly, and without requiring repeat purchase. These qualities made it useless to commercial agriculture. More than useless, it was threatening. A solution that costs nothing and lasts for seasons disrupts the entire model of annual inputs and controlled dependency. So the rusted nail was never disproven. It was simply excluded from the conversation. Agricultural extension programs did not teach it. Garden centers did not sell it. Research funding flowed toward synthetic chelates, not scrap iron. The practice survived only in oral tradition, passed between gardeners who trusted experience over marketing. And even then, it was often dismissed as folklore, superstition, old thinking. The same language used to erase countless indigenous techniques that worked without generating profit. The rusted nail joined a long list of simple, effective, and unownable methods pushed to the margins of modern knowledge. Not because they failed, because they could not be sold, because they threatened the model. Something is shifting. After decades of synthetic inputs, gardeners are confronting soils that no longer respond. Deficiencies appear despite fertilization. Growth stalls even with perfect watering. The system built on formulas is showing its limits. And in that failure, old questions are returning. Researchers are revisiting micronutrient availability, not as a footnote, but as a foundation. Studies on iron supplementation in organic systems confirm what observation always suggested. Slow-release iron sources, including metallic iron, improve growth in iron-sensitive crops. Spinach responds almost immediately. Deeper color, faster leaf production, stronger root systems. The science is finally catching up to the practice. Home gardeners are experimenting again, burying nails, adding iron filings, watching the results with fresh eyes and open minds. Online communities share photographs of chlorotic leaves reversed within weeks. The rusted nail is not a miracle. It is a correction. A return to first principles. And it is being noticed because the alternative, buying another bottle, has stopped working for too many growers who need real solutions. Spinach does not respond to abundance. It responds to balance. Pour nitrogen on depleted soil, and spinach will grow pale and weak. Add iron to living soil, and spinach will darken within days. The plant does not need more. It needs completeness. This is the lesson the rusted nail teaches. It does not feed the plant. It unlocks what was already waiting. One small source of slow-release iron removes the invisible barrier that held growth hostage. The change is not dramatic because the nail added something magical. The change is dramatic because the deficiency was severe and the correction was precise. This is what industrial agriculture cannot accept. Solutions that require patience, inputs that cannot be metered, and results that emerge over seasons, not days. The rusted nail is not a product. It is a relationship with soil. Spinach, the ancient indicator, still remembers how that relationship is supposed to work. It has been waiting for us to remember too, not to feed it more, but to finally stop starving it quietly. The answer was always right there, waiting.